Yes. Welcome back to the Arsenal podcast, Arsenal 4, Dundalk 2, live match reaction. What a performance from the young boys. Like I said, it was going to be around the young boys. What can they deliver? What can they offer? And it was brilliant. Away from home, 4 goals to 2. That starting lineup was just perfect for me. I was like, Mikel Arteta got it right. Big up the young boys. Big up my man Balogun. Big up Emile Smith-Rowe. I wanted to see Emile Smith-Rowe for 90 minutes. I wanted to see Balogun for 90 minutes. I mean, these are the kind of players I want to see play for us. I wanted them to get a chance, and what a brilliant performance from the young lads. Smash the like button, get your comments coming in, subscribe to the channel. What did you make of today's performance? We are going to be delving into it. Runarsson, is he to blame for the goals that we have conceded? I mean, it's trending on Twitter that this guy is to blame for goals we conceded. But is he to blame, or people just have a negative effect on him? Those are two different things. He might be replacing Martinez, and the shoes are too big, and Arsenal fans feel that guy is not perfect to replace Martinez. But is he to blame? Is the goalkeeper to blame for the goals we conceded? That first goal, where are the defenders when the man is taking a shot? Man gets a free header on the second goal, and you say the goalkeeper is to blame. So, but I've seen Charles Watts say that he just doesn't wish Leno gets injured this season because Runarsson is just not good enough. We shall be doing that. We shall be talking about that. But my concentration wants I want to talk about the young players, the young lads. Ainsley Maitland-Niles in that midfield, Emile Smith-Rowe in the creative positions, Balogun, and the goal he scored. What a clinical finish. What a clinical finish. If Mikel Arteta thinks that he's not choosing players and he's choosing, out of reputation, and he's choosing players out of courtesy of merit, then we need to see Balogun play more often. What a finish. What a finish. That's a real striking finish. That's a real striking finish. I loved the finish, from Balogun. Of course, a lot of credit from Pepe, the way he laid it off. But if it was man like Saka or man like, Alexander Lacazette, he could have easily smashed it up, over the bar or, on top of, wherever he wanted. But that was clinical from Balogun. So let us get into the match reaction. I'm going to tell you the 5 things I learned. I'm going to mix this with the player ratings because I might not get enough time to do my player ratings. I mean, it's already late in my country, so I might want to sleep off early. But this is your match reaction. Let's get into it. Now, I'll start with Runarsson. We considered 2 goals, and critics out on Twitter, Facebook, name whatever platforms, YouTube, Discord, are saying that Runarsson is to blame for those 2 goals we conceded today. The first goal, it was a shot. I mean, he could have done better. Maybe he could have done better. The second goal was a header. I've seen even better goalkeepers. I've seen even world-class goalkeepers concede both goals. I think he was unlucky that he conceded both goals against Dundalk. That is one. And the second thing is that he conceded these 2 goals in one game. But I've seen Leno concede such a goal. I've seen, Leno concede even worse goals than that. I've seen, Casillas, I've seen Neuer concede such goals. So for me, it's not a shock, and I don't want to go on to Runarsson, blaming him here and there. He was, he had a bad game. He's a piece of shit, piece of trash. No, I'm not going to do that. I think his performance might not be, might not have been, that good, but every player has a bad game. Every player has a good game. So probably in the next 2, 3, 5 games, he needs more time. We have not seen much of him, to start scrutinizing him, to start, criticizing him and nailing him down, putting up, hanging him out to dry and so on. Not the best of performances. If I was rating him, like I said, I'm going to mix the player ratings here. How much would you give Runarsson today? How much would you give Runarsson today? Not the best of performances, I repeat, but he is not to blame, solely to blame for those goals. I mean, where are the defenders when the striker, when the striker is taking that shot in the first goal? And why does a man in your box get a free header? All those questions have to be asked. Don't blame Runarsson alone. So how many do you give him out of 10? In my opinion, I'll give him 6 out of 10. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I don't know what you think, but give me your player ratings. Runason, 6 out of 10. How much do you give him? Go down in the comments below and tell me how much you would give Runason. Now, the back three was obviously Chambers, who's tried to score a goal. It should have been, something easy, or a good comeback if he had scored that goal. It would have been a good comeback, but it was disallowed because he was in an offside position. He was unlucky. I mean, he was unlucky. Players do get unlucky anyway. But he played with Shkodran Mustafi and Pablo Mari. Pablo Mari is coming back, but he's becoming better and better. He's gonna say he's giving 6 out of 10 to Runason. 6 out of 10. I give him 6 out of 10 as well. No problems about that. So the other player is Chambers. Like the back three, we had Chambers, we had Pablo Mari, and we had Shkodran Mustafi. And I'm going to blame them for the first goal. You have 3 defenders, and you have the audacity to leave a player to take a free shot in your just in your 18 years box. That is unacceptable. That's really unacceptable. But I think Mari had a good game. Other defenders really had a good game. I didn't see them shaking a lot. I know Dundalk had moments in the game. They should have scored even 3 or even 4, but the defenders did quite, such a good job whenever we didn't have the ball. I'll give them some credit for that. But I was impressed with Pablo Mari. I think day in, day out, he's becoming a better and better player, and probably we are going to benefit from his presence at the club even more. So Pablo Mari, I'll give him a 7 out of 10, and then I'll give 6 out of 10 to Chambers. I also give a 6 out of 10 to Shkodran Mustafi. Now, moving into the midfield, where I thought that much of our performance was in there. I think today we played with the midfield. We never, we were not sitting back waiting for players to do whatever kind of bring the ball and get them on the break. We did so well. It was really, really good. We played so well in that in that midfield, and I'm going to be talking about it. But Emile says Runason gets a 5 out of 10. Probably considered, because he conceded 2 goals. He should have said 1, maybe. That could have been the reason you're giving him a 5 out of 10. I do not disagree. Those are the player ratings from the comment section. And I said I give him a 6 out of 10. So in that midfield, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, what a game. Clearly, what a game. I'm telling you, this guy, I didn't know. I mean, he's a midfielder. By the way, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is a midfielder in the making. I hope you guys know that. He's a midfielder in the making. He has been a midfielder all his life, although we have been playing him as a right back, left back. He's that versatile, and I think that's why many Arsenal managers will like him. Ateta likes him. Pre-current manager liked him. Unai Emery. He's that versatile. But today played so well in the midfield with Mohamed Elneny. Even in the last game in the Europa League, both of them played so well. I thought one of them would actually come down in the Premier League, but Mikel Arteta decided not to. This time, both of them come back, and what a performance. What a goal from Mohamed Elneny. I'll be talking about that. But Ainsley, the way he drives that ball forward, you might think like, why don't we give him some time in the midfield? I know we are used to see him in the right back, and I can see some of your comments already. They're saying Ainsley Maitland-Niles 9 out of 10. That is from Edward. Thank you so much. Isgana says Ainsley Maitland-Niles over Bellerin. Yeah, and I'm telling you this. Ainsley played a very good game. A very, very good game. I didn't take any negatives of from his performance today. He was simply brilliant. If you want to say no, that is on your own cause. That's on your own cause. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10 as well. I think his performance was brilliant. In a midfield position where we are not used to seeing him in a midfield position, where not so much of of Arsenal fans will tell you that Ainsley should be playing in the midfield. He was brilliant. He was good, and that is it. 8 out of 10. Isgana says Ainsley 8 out of 10 as well. I'll take the player ratings, videos, the comments. Ayman says Niles 9 out of 10. Brilliant. I'll take in your player ratings. Ayman says Elneny 7 out of 10. Let's move on. Let's move back to Mohamed Elneny as I prepare to bring on the panel. Now, look, Mohamed El Neni, what a goal. First and foremost, let us take the positive. What a goal. What a goal. What a I mean, he had taken, was it 3 years without scoring for Arsenal? But what a goal. And I'm telling you this, in the Premier League, Arsenal doesn't try chances outside the box. I don't know if you have noticed. We don't have players who shoot outside the box. Today, Emile Smith-Rowe, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, El Neni, all these players, and this is why I'm saying that a good game, they tried something different. And this is not something told you by the coach. This is out of personal initiative. This is out of personal effort. You know, I mean, it doesn't cost a player taking a shot outside the box. It doesn't cost, it doesn't cost a player anything. I mean, nobody's gonna blame you if you smash that ball, wide. But today we have seen almost 5 players taking, shots out of the box. Pepe did try. I mean, his effort was sacking, but he did try, and I'll take it as an effort. Emile Smith-Rowe tried. Jose Willock was trying. El Neni tried, and it was a success. Ainsley Maitland-Niles tried and forced a very good goal, a very good save from the goalkeeper. I'm telling you, if we can play like this in the Premier League, we can get results. The problem in the Premier League, we want to pass sideways, down to the left, sideways, down to the left, wait for Aubameyang, wait for someone to, get that ball in the box, and it's not happening. Why not shoot inside the box? Why don't shoot outside the box? I'm giving El Neni a 7 out of 10. I think his performance, if he continues playing like this, I want to see him against Burnley. And I'm telling you, I want almost 3-4 players that have played today to play against Burnley, to play against Southampton, to play against Everton. Because I'm sick and tired of Danny Ceballos and Granit Xhaka passing sideways every game. They don't try shots on goal. They don't do anything. And I'm like, what the hell are we doing? You have a young player like Emile Smith-Rowe, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. They know what to do in a midfield position. If you cannot release a striker, release a shot. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you do not have a striker in the making, like in your way, release a shot. Maybe goalkeeper is off target. Look ahead. This is what Son did in the Premier League against us. Man bantered us. I'm telling you, it was brilliant. But I want to take some of your player ratings there. Isganas says 8 out of 10 for Mohamed El Neni. Brilliant. I'm moving to Emile Smith-Rowe, and I'm telling you, if you rate these players, I'm going to be reading out your player ratings. Mohamed El Neni is given 8 out of 10 from by Edward. Thank you so much. Let us rate these players, together. Now, moving forward is Emile Smith-Rowe, my man. I've always told you we need to see Emile Smith-Rowe. Now, today, you're going to tell me, Kosi, what did he do? I know you're going to ask me such questions. But let me tell you, the level of involvement of this kid is way better than the level of involvement of Granit Xhaka and Danny Ceballos combined on the pitch. And I'm telling you, I was on Twitter, and Charles Watts, goal correspondent, asked a very good question. Why is he bringing on Danny Ceballos? I was asking myself the same question. What is Danny Ceballos going to do in this game? To hell with Danny Ceballos. I don't care whether he's getting playing time. I don't care whether he's getting, any confidence or something. I just don't like him. I just don't like that guy anymore. He's not one player that is fit for us now. But Smith-Rowe, the level of involvement, the passing, outside the box, the man looks like a threat. But we have players that look so casual outside the box. You're in the enemy's territory. I mean, you have Granit Xhaka and Ceballos in the enemy's territory, and you're like, I wish they'd never started. But I'm telling you, Emile Smith-Rowe, and I'm giving him an 8 out of 10 in this game. Brilliant performance. I wish we could see more and more performances from the lads there. I want to move over to Pepe. How much do you give Emile Smith-Rowe, guys? I mean, he's my man, and I really love him. This is no bias. I'm giving him the 8 on merit, and these player ratings must be based on merit. So, Pepe, what's a setup for Balogun, and what a finish for Balogun? I'll be talking about Balogun. He's not my man of the match. My man of the match is Ainsley Maitland-Niles. No questions about that. You can tell me your man of the match as well. But I'm telling you this for a fact. Pepe in the Premier League, he has been brilliant. Get me? Real talk, Pepe in the Europa League has been brilliant. He is a player you want to see every day perform on the pitch. quickly, I want to bring on the panel because people are waiting already in the panel section. But Pepe, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I mean, he didn't do much, probably. He didn't do much, on the pitch and so on. He didn't score. We expected him to score all that. But that ball he released for Balogun. And this question, and this poses a big question, guys. Are we seeing the worst of Pepe in the Premier League because he's surrounded by poorly performing players? If he lays that ball for Lacazette, is he going to score it? If he lays that ball for Aubameyang right now, is he going to score it? Is the body of Aubameyang ready to receive that ball? In this situation, these days, I cannot really believe. But 7 out of 10, I really loved him. Iskana says it's a 7.5 out of 10 for man like for man like you didn't trade Emile Smith Rowe, guys. Oh, here we go. Emile Smith Rowe is 7 out of an 8 out of 10 from East Gunners, and it gets a 7 out of 10 from Damilola. Thank you so much. So that is Pepe. Nketiah, Balogun. Oh, Eddie Nketiah. When isn't I think I don't know the level of competition maybe in the Europa League is facilitating him. He looks more dangerous. I mean, you're a striker. You are a striker, and you got to score those kind of goals. When a defender makes a mistake, you've got to be there. We have strikers that are sitting, relaxing. Defenders, they do not put any pressure on defenders, and this is what I like about Eddie Nketiah. Don't make a mistake in your back line. Don't make a mistake in your own half, because Eddie Nketiah is watching. And when they made that mistake, he was watching and he punished them. I'm going to give him 7 out of 10 for that performance. I want strikers that are real strikers. The finish, the chip. I mean, it's a real finish. A real finish. And I'm telling you, if this guy plays like this day in, day out, he's going to make himself a name at Arsenal. Dennis Okelo says Emile Smith Rowe gets an 8 out of 10. Big up so much, big up. So I really loved Eddie Nketiah, especially the goal he scored. I think he's maturing day in, day out. He's becoming a professional player. At times I've seen players like Anthony Martial smash such, chances wide, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? But brilliant. Let me say brilliant play from man like Eddie Nketiah. Now Balogun. Balogun. I need to talk about Balogun. I don't know, but I'm going to talk about Balogun with the panel. Mikel Aziz. We shall be talking about Aziz with the panel. We're talking about Mikel Arteta with the panel. We'll be talking about who else came on. I'm not going to read Danny Ceballos unless the panel want to, but it's time to welcome the boys aboard. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Welcome aboard, my boys.
What's going on?
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, man.
When was the last time Oneni scored? Quick quiz question.
MK Dons?
No.
Anyone remember?
It was Europa League. It was Europa League.
Last time Oneni scored.
Yeah, not Barcelona. It was Europa League 3 years ago. What game was that? But I don't remember the game, but it was in the Europa League, and I think the final result was 5-1, 4-1 or 5-1.
I think the last time was Barcelona.
No, not really.
Yes, I am terribly wrong.
Really?
I should check. I'll check. I think so.
It was MK Dons. Remember that he scored from like the halfway line?
Yeah, but that's pre-season, isn't it? It's pre-season.
That was pre-season.
Yeah, it was at the Camp Nou.
I'll check.
Bro, he's the best Egyptian player, bro. And Mohamed Salah, who? Mohamed Salah has never scored at the Camp Nou, bro. He's never scored.
Anyway, guys, welcome aboard. My first point is on Balogun. Man like Balogun, what a finish. That's a prolific striking finish. That's a real striker finish. You're like, yeah, man. He scored a striker goal. HJ90, let me start with you. Balogun, how impressed were you today with him?
Yeah, just before Balogun, you're right. 6-0 against Bate Borisov.
Exactly, 6-0 against Bate Borisov. I was just trying to remember.
I forgot. But Balogun, what a player. He's his hold up play is really good. Reminds me of Lacazette, how good he is with that. But then your second goal, you saw how good that was. The one Pepe slide in, that reminds you of Aubameyang. He's the perfect striker. We need to put him in the Premier League side, but we have a manager who's not going to do that.
Yeah.
What can you say? Okay, but he's such a good player.
That's really, he's a real baller, and I think I did make Nathan Balogun first. Now, I just want you guys to react to him before we go into any further about anything.
Like I said, he's a very talented young prospect. I'm just hoping that we manage him correctly and we don't completely mess him up like we did with some of the other players we have. But I think he has a higher ceiling than Eddie Nketiah because he can hold up the ball, he can get physical, he has decent height, he has good strength on the ball. And his finishing, he seems like his finishing is pretty good as well. I feel like he's a better finisher than Eddie, because Eddie's more of in and around the box, do a little tapping. But I think Balogun has a bit more to the game.
Yeah, actually, there's no doubt about that. He's a very, very clinical finisher. Look at the first goal he scored. Again, I think it was in the Europa League against Dundalk. And then look at this goal he scored again against Dundalk. What a finish. I just love the positioning, how calm he was, picking the right spot, the right angle. What a goal. What a goal. And G90 is portraying it there. Really, what a goal. I really loved, that performance. But man of the match, my man of the match is Ainsley. I went with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He's impressing me in the midfield. And I'm saying I would want to see more of him maybe in the, Premier League, picked, wherever, whether picked as right back, picked as, right, midfielder. I would want to see more of him. Who is your man of the match, Nathan?
I thought Cedric Suarez played pretty well. I think in terms of like attacking wise, he put in some good crosses. I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles played pretty well. It would have been nice to see Pepe again on the score sheet, but I think he played all right. Man of the match though, Emile Smith-Rowe a lot of people played well, but man, come back to me on that. I have to think about it.
All right. G90, man of the match, who impressed you most in the game?
He's on the screen. Balogun. Man of the match. He was brilliant. Changed the game. The game was so boring until he came on, and then he started doing things, started switching up the play, gave us a different direction, and that's how we, eventually got the third goal and then the fourth one, and then we won the game comfortably.
You want to know somebody who kind of impressed me a bit? When he came on, he got the ball and he kind of he went past a couple of players, and I'm like, whoa, all right. He looked like a punk boy with dreads, bro. I was like, whoa, who's this guy? So yeah, I was kind of impressed with him.
Yeah, he's a real baller. Let's talk Emile Smith-Rowe as well. I'm coming back to you, Nathan, in a moment to tell me your man of the match. And everybody in the comment section, I want to know who is your man of the match in this game. Emile Smith-Rowe, I was impressed. That boy looks a threat when he is outside the 18 yards box. He's not casual like Xhaka. He's not casual like Dani Ceballos. I mean, he tries to pull that, to pass that ball forward, looking out for someone who's making a run. We have players that never pass that ball forward. Sideways to the back. Sideways to left to the back. That's the kind of midfield we play in the Premier League. What I thought, G90, Emile Smith-Rowe.
He impressed me a lot. I thought his pressure was very good. His intensity with the game. He had the right back on ropes the entire game. He was taking shots. He was being, he was being positive, and I think that's something we need from our players. Again, we need to give these players more chances, like Balogun, like Smith-Rowe, and I think overall we got an assist as well, Smith-Rowe, for Oneni Screamer goal. So I think for that, it's very good. But I want to see him now go on the bench in the Premier League. You know, I'm sick and tired of seeing these old same faces in the Premier League, like Xhaka and these lot. I want to see Smith Rowe. I want to see Balogun. I want to see Aziz.
Yeah. Nathan, Emile Smith Rowe.
A 9 out of 10 performance. I thought he was pretty good today.
Brilliant.
He linked up really well with Ainsley. You can see they have a little bit of a friendship, a little bit of a connection. So, I don't want to criticize Mikel Arteta, but we should have seen a lot more of Emile Smith Rowe in this Europa League. I feel like now that he got like almost a whole game to play, now people are starting to see, oh, now this kid is actually really talented, and I feel like he should have played way more games, because now he's not really gonna get a look in the Premier League. So maybe when the FA Cup comes around, maybe that's the next time we'll see him. But when does the FA Cup start? Like January?
Yeah.
So
January.
but I was impressed with him. You know, you can tell that he wants to impress Mikel Arteta and impress his team.
And I think for Mikel Arteta, instead of Mikel Arteta trying to force Willock in that number 10 role where he's not so comfortable, we think, you know, he doesn't want to play like a number 10. He wants to play a little bit deeper, carry that ball forward, have lots and lots of space, you know, ahead of him, you know, pass, you know, the ball to, you know, into open spaces, you know, pass that ball. I think Emile Smith Rowe is an answer, not really that it's going to come and, you know, create 10 chances per game or something like that. But maybe if you added him to that Arsenal side, there, you know, he would add a move forward, you know, something like telling the players, move forward. Let's move forward.
Yeah, but I think Mikel Arteta, by now he should know that Joe Willock is not a number 10. He's a number 8. He's a box-to-box midfielder, and with a number 10, when you get the ball, you need to move the ball quickly. Like with Ozil, the only time he holds on to the ball is when he really needs to hold on to the ball. For me, I look at Joe Willock, and he doesn't have that kind of intelligence like a number 10. And
there was a chance in the game where he was running through Willock, and Balogun was making a run through the defense. If Willock put that ball in, Balogun threw on goal.
You know,
exactly. I think like a number 10, he is a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah. And this has been a problem for Willock from the start. His decision making has not been good enough, and it's not improving.
Yeah, he loves running with the ball. And actually, I was looking at him. I thought he was going to pass it over to Pepe or pass it to Balogun, because he had two options. But he was dribbling, going. I don't know where he was going until, you know, he was intercepted, and then, you know, it was a throw in. But anyway,
if that was Emile Smith Rowe, he would have made the pass at the right time, because he thinks like an actual number 10. So Arteta needs to move him back a little bit, like, and maybe play him in a double pivot and just have him for energy. Because one thing Joe Willock, he doesn't have a whole lot of quality, but he makes up for it with his work rate.
Yeah, actually, you know, I'm telling you, but fact, I came onto this match reaction. I was pissed. Why? Many people were picking out on Runarsson for the 2 goals we conceded. I don't know whether it's because we conceded the 2 goals against Dundalk, or the way we conceded the goals. I'm not really sure about that. But guys, what do you think? Runarsson, is he being picked on because he cannot replace, you know, he's not fit to replace Martinez, or he's just not good enough? Are you blaming him for the 2 goals that we conceded today?
The first goal, I thought he was to blame. I thought he could have done much better with the save. It wasn't going in the corner. I thought he could have done much better for the first goal. But the second one, I don't think it was his fault. I think it was a really good header. I'd put the blame on Pablo Mari, because I thought he should have done much better to defend that away. But I thought it was a really good finish. Second one, I wouldn't blame him. The first one, I would.
Nathan? I think his mic, you know, froze up a bit, but he'll be back in a moment. But I'm telling you by fact, AJ, I don't believe Runarsson is that, you know, nightmare of a goalkeeper, like, you know, people are making it. Their story so big.
Yeah, he's done all right, you know, especially, you know, these aren't really hard games, you know, teams aren't going to attack you. You're not going to have much to do in games. So I think it's all right. And I think Leonard will probably continue. It depends who we get. Round of 32, obviously, draw for that is money.
Yeah.
And if it's an easier team than Runners, I think it is a harder team. I do think Arteta, if he's manager, then he'll be Leonard. He'll probably play Leonard.
Do you think if Leno got injured and we have Runners in goal, do you think it's going? We are gone. We are doomed.
No. I think Runnelson's been okay. He's not been that bad. I think he's been all right. He's not had much to do, so you can't really base too much off that.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling people that. I mean, Runnelson, I know he's a 1.5 million goalkeeper. I know he's non-traded. Yeah. He's not traded at anywhere, not in the fans, not in the eyes of like such a comment, and I'll pin it because it has just come in. It says Runa is a total mess, and I'm asking myself, what has Runa done so bad to be a total mess?
Exactly. What has he done? He's only conceded 3 goals, and he's played most of the Europa League games.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, Nathan. I can hear you now.
My audio is acting crazy.
It's okay.
About Runnelson. Listen, when we first got him, I looked at some of his stats, and I know stats don't tell the whole story, but his stats were shocking. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
He conceded a lot of goals.
He had the worst save percentage in Ligue 1 last season. And plus, I looked at his height, and I was like, oh, he's a 6'1" goalkeeper. I was like, let me give him a chance. And I told somebody this. I said, all he needs to I wanted to prove my point to some I wanted to prove my point to some fans, because they were saying, oh, he looks like a good goalkeeper. He looks like the modern good goalkeeper. He looks like a Neuer. And I was like, all you need to do is just shoot at him, and you'll see. His positioning is just hella cool. His position is just, he needs to be on fraud watch.
I don't think
his position, even if you watch his highlights in France, he's always off his line. Why are you always off your line? Like, you're a 6'1" goalkeeper.
That's fun. It's a different club. I think
his position is just hella questionable.
Nathan, do you blame him for both goals that we considered today?
Unfortunately, yeah, I do.
Say that again.
I mean, if it's a header, I mean, the second goal was, he could have easily saved that. I mean, I know the header was a bullet header, but at the same time, it was kind of far out. He could have saved that. If he was a bit taller, he could have got to that. But for me, he cost $1 million for a reason. You get what you pay for. He's not that great. And if Leno gets injured, and I don't even rate Leno, by the way, if he gets injured, you might as well just bring back Pepe.
Can we say that about Martinez? When Leno got injured back then, didn't we say we were going to be a total mess? What did Martinez do? He stepped up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he's not even first choice for Iceland. You know what I mean? So he's not. Listen, I want him to do well, but hopefully he proves me wrong.
No, Martinez was at the club for 10 years. What did he do? He stepped up when it was needed. You can't. I don't think you can judge Runnelson too harshly. He's not going to play many games this season. I don't think between now and the end of the season he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play many games at all. I think Leno would probably play the rest of them, because I think you're not going to take chances in the knockout rounds with Runnelson. He might. It depends what team we get. Obviously, we'll find out on Monday when we do have the draw.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because obviously obviously the teams dropping out of the Champions League. It'd be quite difficult. You have obviously United in the Europa League. I personally think we can win the competition because, in one-off games, Arteta knows how to, get the team ready. If it is going to be one-off games, apparently there's rumors that, it could be, how last season towards the end, they did the one-off games. There's a possibility that could happen. But again, I think hopefully we can win the Europa League, because I just don't see how we can get Champions League through the Premier League, because I've had enough of Europa League now.
One last thing. You know how you play pro clubs? I don't know if you guys play pro clubs, but you know how you have one of your friends in goal, and he just comes out because he's bored as fuck, and he just comes out and tries to do little ticky tackles with the center backs and all that, and try to slide tackle and stuff. That's what Runnelson looks like. He just looks like he's bored. And he wants to play in midfield or something. you're not Edison.
I like that because he's pressing up the field. Modern keepers do that nowadays. It's normal.
Yes, yeah, I know, but it's Dundalk. You don't need to be in at the halfway line. When I saw that, I was like, what is he doing? And
I think about the comment that's pinned here, Matt Macy. I saw him again the game against MK Dons. He played. He looked. I didn't like him at all.
Matt Macy,
he looked really bad. I think so. Anyway.
He's correct.
Pablo Mari comes back. We shall talk about Caleb Chambers as well. But Mari is now 2 games. I mean, he scored in the other game against Rapid Vienna with a nice header. This time, again, for me, he was decent. What are your thoughts, Pablo Mari? Do you think we have another, rock of a defender named AJ90?
Yeah, I think start him on Sunday next to Gabriel. I don't want to see David Luiz. I don't want to see Rob Holding. I want to see these two next to each other. And everyone.
They're both left-footed.
I'll come on to this.
Yeah.
For years now, lots of managers, they play two right-sided centre-backs. And, people are fine with that. You look at so many great partnerships in centre-back pairings. They have been right-sided, 2 right-sided centre-backs.
Yeah.
So suddenly Mikel Arteta comes in and everyone's like, we need a left-sided centre-back and a right-sided centre-back. Why? You can play 2 left-sided centre-backs if you know what you're doing. As it is, if Bellerin's going to play the centre-back that's going to be on the right, he's going to get exposed as it is if Bellerin plays any games. I think Maitland-Niles should play, but why not? It's things are going bad. Arteta, reports are saying he has 3 more games left. Possibly. I think he could get sacked after the Chelsea game, 26th of. I think we're playing them on Boxing Day, so 27th. Hopefully he's gone by then. That's my birthday, by the way, 27th. But we'll have to see. It's a difficult one, but yeah. Why not play Murray and Gabriel as centre back pairing?
Kosi, I'm about to say something. I'm gonna go against the grain a bit. Say something a bit controversial. Pablo Mari. I saw this on Twitter. Somebody called him the Paella Maguire.
Look on our website. It's full of clowns. That website is full of clowns.
I know. Listen, he's a decent center back, but he gets spun left, right, and side. Like, bro, his acceleration is. I think my nan is faster than him, bro. Listen, his position is decent. I mean, you can tell that he's got something about him, but he's really, really slow. And I actually thought that, maybe it's not going to be that bad, but he's actually really, really slow. And I feel like that the first goal, the way the guy just really ran past him like he was not there, I was a bit disappointed with that. But I mean, to start him in the Premier League, I'm not too sure about that, but I don't know. He's really slow. And I don't know if you remember the City game when he first came back from lockdown. He got injured because he was trying to keep up with one of the City players, and he ended up pulling like a hamstring or something. His acceleration is really, really.
Yeah, don't you think probably Gabriel Magalhaes, the speed he has could maybe act as a point of complementarity between him and Mari?
Yeah, I guess because Gabriel is more like he likes to get in your face. He likes to play real tight to the attackers. If we just have Pablo Mari there to just cover and just clean things up, then okay, maybe to play both of them, I feel like you're asking for problems. And
but you could also have, because where I would agree with HJ, if you have him on the pitch, then you can throw in Kian Tierney as part of the midfield 3 or something like sorry the midfield 5, because he's playing he's playing now as a backward. He's playing as the back, as part of as a member of the back 3, and he's not coming in very well, bringing those crosses. If you have Mari cover road for Tierney can come and becomes part of the the midfield 5, and probably we can get more out of him.
Can I read out this thread that I found?
Yeah.
I think this sums up Arsenal perfectly. I can read it out for everyone. How many people are watching?
I think 13.
13.
Yeah.
I just want to read this out. I think this will be very helpful for everyone.
Okay.
Do you mind me?
It's fine.
The Arsenal of the Emirates is not an Arsenal about being successful. The Emirates Arsenal is a complete separate entity to the Arsenal of Highbury. Going over everything we do at Arsenal, from the owner to the players to the fans, isn't based on Arsenal being the best. I'm just saying, like, everything that's wrong with this club to go forward is down to players, fans, and the board. First of all, every football club is the company, but brands like City and Liverpool thrive off success that is at their club. Man City winning major trophies benefits their brand. Everyone associated with City only wants best for City. At Arsenal, that's a different case. At Arsenal, the board only are interested in keeping their jobs. But Arsenal don't need to be successful for them to keep their jobs. 2 reasons. Our owner isn't interested in Arsenal's success, so he doesn't put pressure on them. Our fans have no standards, so we don't put pressure on them. As long as the board aren't receiving any pressure from the fans or Kroenke, they're safe. So what the board needs to do is convince us fans that we don't need to put pressure on them because it takes 4 years to be good, i.e. trust the process. So what this is saying is, if you trust the process, then it just keeps the board's job, Kroenke no pressure, and they can move on perfectly. The board are able to convince us of these lies by hiring professional marketers to create a certain narrative. A marketing agency hires people to advertise their company in a certain way. This is why Arsenal's Twitter admin is not even an Arsenal fan. He's a Southampton fan. The board figured that hiring somebody who hasn't actually got any emotional attachment to Arsenal is better than hiring an actual Arsenal fan, because a non-Arsenal fan can easily tweet, "Get your Arsenal Christmas range a day after losing to Aston Villa." See what this is? Another way the board prevents his fans from putting pressure on the board is using PR. And this is just a definition for PR. It's just a marketing service to make you think a certain way. A good PR comes from different articles, reports, interviews, and even tweets portraying a company or person in a positive way. The board need Arsenal to have good PR so that us fans fall for these lies and think that the club is being run well. The club obviously employs many people to do their PR, but there are also people who don't work at Arsenal who are contributing to this regime of the board. Number 1, journalists. Number 2, ITKs. They're the people who chat absolute rubbish in the transfer window. 3, Arsenal legends. 4, a lot of big Arsenal accounts. And 5, a lot of Arsenal fans in general, i.e. DT, because he wants to trust the process. Generic journalists like your Ornsteins, like your James Benns, like your Charles Watts. There's never any passion from these people. It's just recycled, generic deception used to make out as if everything is okay. ITKs, like as I just explained, every transfer window complain that Arsenal are going to spend a lot of money, which keeps the fan base on strings and stops us putting any pressure on the board because we've been told to track Awar's Uber instead. Arsenal's legends are people, that played for us and they were legends and decided to compromise their opinions for the sake of getting privileges at Arsenal. Basically, getting free tickets and things like that. Big Arsenal accounts with the daily hypocrisy telling us 1 minute that we had an 8 out of 10 transfer window and now saying that 15th is down to the players we have. You know what I mean? People like DT who have such big following, they're saying we have such good transfer windows and then blaming on the players. This is the problem. The delusion of these accounts filtered through to the majority of the fan base, who have now created a cult of positivity where if anybody isn't trusting the process or saying the right things, you're not an Arsenal fan. The likes of journalists and Arsenal legends know exactly what they're doing, but Arsenal fans have genuinely fallen deep into the board's trap. They've convinced themselves that they are better fans than the negative fans by being the board's free marketing team. See, that's how pressure is not put on Kroenke. We don't put, as fans, enough pressure on Kroenke. Football clubs make decisions based on football reasons. Arsenal marketing agency signed Brazilians for Edu's own purpose. We choose to wait until deadline day to sign parties so that the fans think we pulled one out the bag. These are not football reasons. We're not a football club. For more context on this, we only signed party on deadline day, so everyone thinks we had a good transfer window. It's just deception. So what has happened here is that now a conflict of interest in supporting Arsenal. Fans want to tweet what is best for Arsenal, but they don't want to be seen as negative. Arsenal legends know that the club isn't run well, but they want a free pre-season tour with the club. And obviously, this is some fans there. Now you get robotic fans just tweet recycled, generic sawdust because that is a trait of the Arsenal marketing team. It's all about saying the right things to fit in with the family. We could go 30 years without winning the league and you'll still see the same good vibes around the club, but it doesn't matter how long we go without a title. As long as the fans believe that we are rebuilding, then they'll force themselves to be positive. If this marketing agency continues to thrive as a marketing agency, we'll remain in the same cycle. Let me just get away from this. Unless something drastic changes at Arsenal, we'll just be the same. If you don't push an object, it won't move. This is what's happening at this club. Kroenke will not sack the board, nor he will sack himself. As fans need to raise our standards by putting pressure on every aspect that is holding this club back. The idea that the fans cannot be responsible for any of our mediocrity is a flat-out lie. Fans breaking from the positive cult and saying what they think is just the first step to becoming a passionate football club and not just a diplomatic brand. That's it.
Brilliant. AJ, I'm gonna cut out that segment. I'll re-upload it.
That's perfectly fine, because that just sums up everything that's going on. Because fans want to trust the process, believe in a fake process, because the board are telling. I'll be honest, I fell for this. I fell for it. I've opened my eyes now, and I've seen this. They say we're not going anywhere. Just look at Arteta's press conference the other day. I'm not sure if anyone looked at it.
I always look at his, press conference. I see how he has changed. Yeah.
One thing, he's saying Saliba is playing, progressing, but then on the next line he's saying he wants to learn him out. So do you like him or do you not like him? You see what I'm trying to say? And when he asked about Bellerin and the foul throws, instead of admitting it and saying I'm going to, make sure Bellerin he doesn't do it again, he's sending videos, tactical videos of other teams doing it to the FA. That's embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Bro, I call Arsenal fans surfers. You want to know why? Because they just hop on waves. Those surfers, bro. Listen.
You ride waves with Arsenal fans. That's what's been going on for so long.
I never fell for this nonsense, bro. Even when they brought Arteta in, I was like, he's speaking all that good game, but is he really gonna back it up? And like at the end of the season, you won the FA Cup, and I was all happy, but I was like, we didn't do anything in the league. Like we're still in the same place. So I've always been like, I always like thought Arteta was a bit of a fraud, if I'm being honest. So I mean, this is no shock to me. It's no shock. And there's no coincidence that when a manager
want to know that. They want to trust the process. They want to be. I want to be positive, but I know this. The thing is, if we sack Arteta, we'll get who will we get? Allegri. Yeah, okay. We'll have a few months bounce, and it'll probably be we can't get rid of the players. The board are the same. It's the same owners. We need to put pressure not just on the manager, but on everything, and fans have to raise their standards.
Actually, AJ, there isn't any guarantee that if you sack Arteta, we are gonna bring in Allegri. I mean, Allegri was there. There were better managers. Pochettino was the best option. He had just lost his job.
I wanted Pochettino
at Tottenham, and we thought Pochettino was going to be. We were going to contact Pochettino. We never did it. We went for Arteta. Nobody had thought was thinking about Arteta, but we went for Arteta.
Thing is, what they've tried to do with Arteta is they've tried to try and tell us, it takes 4 years to be good. This is what I said in the article, because people then sit there for 4 years and think, we're trusting the process, we'll be good sometime soon. Claudio Ranieri came in after Leicester just about scraped relegation, and they won them the title.
Yeah,
I want to say one quick thing, and this is the problem I have with modern, not even only Arsenal fans, so this with modern football fans, is that their expectations are in the gutter. I was on football terrace, well, not me, but I was watching the football terrace after Man United lost to RB Leipzig, and the guy with the glasses and with the high top, what's his name? He's a United fan, and he said something that really stuck with me, and he said, we got knocked out of the group of death, and he said we shouldn't sack Oli because we weren't expected to make it through the group of death anyway, so he should keep his job to the end of the season. Me being an Arsenal fan and looking, not even only an Arsenal fan, just a football fan in general, Man United is one of the biggest clubs in the world. He said we weren't expecting to get through the group stage anyway, so he should keep his job. I was like, is this guy mad? This is Man United Football Club, and a fan is saying we weren't supposed to even make it through the group anyway. And I was like, this just goes to show you how fans have lowered their expectations so much. Yeah. It's actually crazy. When I heard that, I couldn't believe it.
And I said it today, and today I said, when United 2 weeks ago, when United beat Leipzig, they were like, Ole is in, Ole is the man. We are qualifying straight to the Champions League. When they lost to PSG, they said, at least we need 1 point. It was PSG. Now they are out, and they have been reduced to the same level where they were when they had lost to Crystal Palace at the beginning of the season, when they had lost to, all those kind of, all those kind of games they lost, they're back at the same position. And this is where Aston is going. I won't be surprised if Mikel Arteta wins the next 3 games. Burnley, Southampton, Everton. I won't be surprised. And then pressure cools and we lose the next 5 games. You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, because as he said, I don't know, modern football fans, they are no longer hungry. I don't know whether we are no longer hungry or PR has.
It's Arsene Wenger that did it. It's Arsene Wenger's fault. It's his fault. He's killed it. Even though he made the football club what it is today, he's killed this football club. He's absolutely killed it. I don't care what anyone says. He's killed this football club. When you say top 4 is a trophy, and when you move into a shit stadium, and you turn our old stadium into flats, and you killed the traditions of this football club. Yeah. Now everybody's expectation is in the gutter. You want to know why? Because all the social media nonsense. You got fans sitting there sucking off the manager, even when they see flaws in his game, and nobody's saying it how it is. The only real YouTube fans that are saying it how it is Turkish and people like Kenny Ken and Lee Gunner, and those are the only people who see it. Everybody else is just sitting there sucking off Arteta. Say it how it is.
Actually, I think I've seen troops of recent, saying man is not good enough. Yeah,
he's a flip flop. A flip. I love troops, but he flip flop hard, man. I couldn't believe it. This was a guy coming out and saying, "This is my manager. This is my manager." Blah blah blah. And then now he's saying Arteta is moving like a Spanish Oli. Like, bro, he flip flopped hard, bro.
Yeah, but guys, the fact is, Arteta, Oli, then there is no difference between these guys. I mean, the difference with Oli, he has tools for the job. He has the tools for the job, and that's why he can, play his mediocre football. He can play his naive tactics, and he gets away with it. He has Van der Beek, he has Bruno, he has Rashford, he has some good players that Arsenal doesn't have. If Mikel Arteta had the same quality of players at United, we would be drowning, but we wouldn't be noticing. The reason as to why we are seeing that we are noticing, we are drowning as Arsenal fans, or we are noticing it, is because we have average players that just can't give you, some good performances once in a while. I think that's the reason.
No, but these players are good enough to at least be in top 6 right now.
Okay.
The squad that we have now is good enough to be not maybe in the top 4, but at least be on maybe 17 points now.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have 10 points in the table. Well, we'll have it. I don't know how many points we have right now, but we should at least have 17 to 20 points right now.
13 points after 11 games. We have lost 17 points.
That's ridiculous. That just goes to show you that, you can blame the players. But if we had a better manager, we would be at least 6th in the table.
A better manager would start Nelson over Willian. A better manager would been Bellerin. A better manager wouldn't keep playing Xhaka.
Exactly.
A better manager would suss out these problems and play to our strengths, play to Aubameyang's strengths. Give Balogun. If a real manager, remember, I think 4 years ago, Marcus Rashford made his debut in the Europa League. No one knew him. He scored 2 goals in the Europa League. Van Gaal puts him straight into the Premier League against 2? Us.
I think
he scored a brace on his debut.
Yeah, of course. Everybody scores
in the Europa League, and then he scored a brace against us in that weekend.
Yeah.
We need to do the same with Balogun, but this manager won't. He won't, because he still wants to play Worley, and he still wants to play Bellerin. He still wants to play Danny Ceballos.
He still
wants to play these players.
Bro, you want to know what Arteta's gonna say?
Yeah,
I can't read it like a book. You want to know what he's gonna say about Balogun? He's like, "Oh, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to make the right environment and the right energy." Absolute div. What's wrong with this guy, bro? He just uses big words, but in reality, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's gonna be
yeah. I've come to notice that in his press conferences, he is so vocal. He knows how to answer questions, but he doesn't really mean what he says.
But his PR game is so strong.
It's all a PR game. All of it. All a PR game. All a PR game. Yeah. And then you have fans that want to still sit here, lie through their teeth, and say that they still back Arteta. No, ask any Arsenal fan out there. Any Arsenal fan. Was Mikel Arteta their first choice for manager? I'll say 90-80% would say no. Their first choice would be Allegri, Pochettino, Simeone, Ancelotti, even Mourinho. Yeah.
That's a fact. Hello, Natty.
I'm gonna go now. Cozy, thank you very much. You can re-upload the clip in the middle.
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much. Yeah. Natty, welcome to the show.
Welcome. How are you?
How are you doing?
Good.
First and foremost, how impressed were you with the boys' performances today?
Today it was very good. I'm so happy. I wanna play well like that for next Sunday against Burnley. It was really good. I'm so happy. For
So
me,
happy.
Arteta is very well. Just we need to give him chance. We need to give time. Arteta as well. For me,
Actually, in his press conference, he has said that he wants Balogun on a new contract. I mean, why is even Balogun not having a new contract?
I don't know, but I wanna to sign for new contract. I don't know what happened, but he's a very good player.
Nathan, do you think we shall keep him in the general transfer window? He has chances to leave in January if he doesn't pin down a contract. Do you think he's gonna sign?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on what Arteta wants to do with him, but I don't trust Arteta with Balogun. I feel like he's gonna play Balogun and then drop him like the next 2 games, and so I think he should go on loan. I think that's better for him. Like he should sign the contract and then go on loan in January.
Yeah. Wow. So guys, I have to jump on Glenn Kitley's live show. I can see he's already in the comment box saying, he's crying. I'm coming over there. I'm switching over to Glenn Kitley's live show for the match player ratings.
Wait, can I go on Glenn's too?
Yeah, I think yes, please. We can go to Glenn and then we can always, I'll send you the link and I'll tell him to send you the link as well.
All right.
Okay. My brother, I remember telling you about Balogun. He's he's promised. Wow, he's a baller. He's a baller. I just can't read your name because it's quite in a language I do not understand. But I agree. He's a baller. He's a real footballer. I'm telling you, if we have Smith Rowe, Balogun, Ainsley, if we have that kind of players who want to fight, what I saw in the boys today is quite different. It's quite different from what the senior team portrays. These boys want he says I'm called Ricky. Thank you so much. These boys fight for what they believe in. They believe Arsenal is the big club. They know what it takes to play for Arsenal. They believe that playing for Arsenal is an opportunity. They believe that playing for Arsenal is a golden opportunity, probably that comes once and doesn't come for everybody. You see when they're on the pitch, Emile Smith Rowe is giving everything they have. Balogun is trying to score for Arsenal. They're playing for Arsenal. They are playing for their brand. They are playing with all their might. This is not what Alexander Lacazette is doing. This is not what Aubameyang is doing. They are playing, for the sake of, I don't know, for the manager, or they are playing for the sake of, fulfilling that they were named in the squad. We need some players that really show that Arsenal is on their heart. I want to see more players like Gabriel, the fighting spirit. I want to see more players like Pepe, the fighting spirit. That kind of fighting spirit. Bellerin, man doesn't chase the ball, and he's like, if we concede, it's not the first time. We need to see. I really love the spirit. I wanted to give everybody a 10 out of 10. It was impossible. I had to go on merit, but these boys, the fighting spirit was so high. Nathan, I think this should be our last comments. And Nettie, that spirit, did you feel Arsenal is back? Did you feel these players had Arsenal at the back of their minds when they're playing today?
Listen, these kids have dreams about this moment for years, and when they get it, they grab it with both hands and they say, you know what, I'm playing for a big club, and I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna give it 100%. One thing you have to realize is that these kids aren't on a lot of money. Like most of them are on like maybe 5K a week, 3K a week. So they're not playing for the money. They're playing for the experience and the exposure to first team football.
Yeah. And it's quite, it's quite impressive. It's quite impressive. But thank you so much, Nathan. Thank you, people like Ricky, Glenn Kitley, Ismail Kamara, Isganas, Bojoke, Dennis Okello, people who have been commenting, and those people who gave me the player ratings. Damilola, we shall be doing this every after game, so make sure you come in. Big up HJ90, all those people, man like Amen Fedo, all those people that always come on and have always come on. Let me just take this. This was one of the first comments that came in, and I had tried to, somehow neglected it. The name is so hard, I can't pronounce it, but I can see game or something. Thoughts on William Saliba? I think Saliba is a good player. He's going to go out on loan, and I know that he's going to go out on loan. Mikel Arteta has already tried to show us that the player is not going to be playing this season, so he's going to be left out to go out on loan. Not the most, not the most brilliant idea out can. I mean, I don't want him to go on loan. I don't want William Saliba to be out on loan. I want him to be with the likes of Balogun, the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe. We need to have, some good young players there developing in the Martinellis. You need to have that youth academy rising up. You always need it for the backup. What if? And these are problems we have. If Aubameyang gets injured, you don't have a backup because Balogun is not getting playing time. And when you bring him on as a backup, man is going to be short of confidence. You get me? If you have Gabriel injured, you can't bring on William Saliba, because if you bring him on and you've not been giving him playing time, man is going to be short of confidence. And all of us will be, Saliba is a bad player, but he's not a bad player. You're waiting for a critical moment to bring him on. Man is going to flop. You tell me, I'm telling you that. Real talk, William Saliba is a good player. He is one of the best players we do have. I'm switching over to Glenn Ketley's channel. It's called Everything Arsenal for the player ratings. And I'm going to be talking about Emile Smith-Rowe, Balogun. I'm going to be talking about more of these players. I'll be talking about Martinelli. I'll be talking about William Saliba. I know he's going to give me a lot of time. It's going to be close to an hour, and that's why I love his channel. I mean, he gives me a lot of time to speak. When I'm out from my channel, man gives me a lot of time to speak. Man gives me, a lot of credit, and that's why I really love him. So I'm going to be switching over there. Please do switch to Glenn Kitley. Everything Arsenal. I mean, we shall be meeting. If you love me, smash a like on the video. If you don't love me, subscribe to the channel. Either way, it works. You love me, smash a like on the video. You don't love me, subscribe to the channel. But anyway, I know most of you people really love the Arsenal content. We are Arsenal fans. We are not the happiest fan base in the world right now, but we are strong and we take every happiness very, very solid. So I'm taking a lot of positives from today's performance. I'm really taking a lot of positives from today's performance. I hope you guys stay well, and I'll speak to you soon. That is tomorrow, very, very early in the morning.